I'm here with Trent MacDonald from Queensland Mines Rescue Service. And Trent, thanks for joining us today to have a talk about your business and your journey with Wiise ERP. The first question I have for you is if you could just describe to us a little bit about what Queensland Mines Rescue does and how long the organisation has existed, etc.
Queensland Mines Rescue Service has existed since 1909. Originally, it was founded as a cohort, and then it has evolved into the organisation we know today. Queensland Mines Rescue Service is the accredited corporation under the Coal Mining Safety Act, and is the organisation responsible to respond to any underground emergencies for any coal mines in Queensland. All coal mining activities, anyone that operates a coal mine in Queensland must be a member of QMRS, and therefore our daily activities are training and preparing and simulating to be able to respond to emergencies, and making sure that people are equipped with not only the necessary training but as well the necessary equipment to be able to respond in the time of need.
Yeah, and you were in the news quite recently, just in the last few months. There was quite a significant underground fire at one of the mines in the Bowen Basin from Emery.
Correct. Where our activities always highlighted during in the media when events happen, but yeah, we while that one's covered in the media, we respond to it a lot more than what people would realise.
Yep. And so from a software perspective, what software were you using before you implemented Wiise?
Prior to using Wiise, we were using Tensia from Arrow Software, which we had in place for a year after we had just changed from Attache. So, but Tensia was the immediate software prior to Wiise.
Yes. And what prompted the desire or need to move to another platform?
Tensia is a great system. However, it required everything to be locally hosted on our own server infrastructure, and had limited integration abilities. So one of the key things that QMRS is trying to diverse into is automation and integration. So those two key criteria is where Wiise fit in quite well.
And so what were there any particular challenges that were arising, I guess, as a result of having an on-premise platform, aside from the integration?
That was the main issue, is the integration with the on-premises server. What we know is someone has created a piece of software, a scripts, or some type of solution for almost every conceivable thing that you can think of. However, due to the limitations of the on-premises software, and as the platform isn't well integrated with other platforms, anything that we would need to do, such as leave management, had to be custom made. And that means that we would have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to recreate systems that literally already exist. As opposed to Wiise, where there's already a large amount of integrations of existing software that work with it. And then on top of that, it doesn't take much to integrate existing solutions with Wiise.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, I guess a higher maintenance and or integration cost, or also, you know, examples where you perhaps couldn't achieve something at all because of that.
Right.
And tell us about the experience implementing Wiise. It's always a bit of a journey moving from one solution to another. So what was your experience throughout that project?
It was an experience, and we got there in the end. So all projects have challenges. What makes companies such as yours different is how they respond to when things go wrong. And your team were up for the challenge. They were transparent and honest throughout the entire process. And 9 times out of 10, when something was discovered, they would tell me that they've already got the solution. They just wanted to hear my voice to say yes. So, yeah, I'm not going to say that it was easy. I'm not going to say that it wasn't hard. I've lost hair since it. So, but the thing is I'm not too concerned about what's going wrong. I care about the deadline and achieving that deadline. So, and your team were able to work within my way and view of things. So I don't want to point fingers. I don't want to do anything. I just want to achieve the goals. And your team were very quickly able to align with my management style.
Okay, that's good to know. Thanks, Trent. And what are the main modules of Wiise? Because we've got various modules. Not everyone uses all modules. What modules are you using?
So accounts payable, accounts receivable, payroll, chart of accounts, jobs or projects it might be called, inventory, items management are the main parts that we use in Wiise on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, yep, that sounds logical. And from what I can understand, it's pretty important for you to be able to sort of budget and then track actuals to budget on a lot of your activities.
It is a KPI for me that I must manage it, and then not only manage it for internal stakeholders, but then I must report on it to external and senior stakeholders. So QMRS, because it's a levy-funded organisation under the Act, budget is everything. And it's not a budget that we hope to achieve, it's a budget that we must achieve.
You have to achieve, yeah. Yeah. And are you doing that entirely through the general ledger and general ledger budgets, or project and project budgets as well?
Mixture of both.
Mixture of both, yeah. So some are more activity-based, which would be what the projects are for?
Yeah, the GL part is for our operating activity, so our OPEX budgets, where the jobs are helping us with our capital budgets.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And have you been able to what's improved from going through that journey to where you are now in terms of being able to easily produce those budgets and the reports that you need to produce regularly?
The information is a lot more accessible. It's a lot more live because we have, again, back to a key criteria of that level of integration with existing systems that we have, such as Prospend and so forth. We're able to have that information synced via API extremely quick, therefore providing us extremely live and up-to-date information. And that's invaluable for us because our previous system, we wouldn't know where we're standing until 15 days until after the month, when we have finally got all the flat files imported and so forth. So Wiise is able to provide us that immediate information that we need very easily, and working with a provider like yourself, we're able to change what we need and how it's displayed relatively quickly at a much cheaper price than what we would have to do before. To provide contrast, you guys are doing reports now that are 1/40th of the cost of what we had to pay before.
Okay, well, that's good to know. And interesting that obviously, part of your motivation and need to change was the ability to integrate, and Prospend is a good example. So do you mind just spend 30 seconds on what Prospend, how you're using Prospend, what you're using it for?
Sure. So Prospend takes care of all of our accounts payable, all of our invoices automatically routed through the software. Prospend helps us by using OCR technology to do all the data entry for us. And then that has taken our workforce from data entry to review and decision making. It also has built-in fraud detection and many other kind of various technological features that help us identify what is going on in the business with the invoices that come through. It also aligns our budgets in the software and provides us with purchase order abilities through mobile apps, which is important for an organisation like ours. So that's what we use it for in a day-to-day. And then all the information is synced with Wiise in one click.
through the API, yeah. And it's great that you acknowledge that it enables your people to move from being, data entry focused people to more analytical and making sure things are, coded correctly to the right account, cost center, project, etc., and probably would reduce error rates as well, I would imagine.
Yeah, correct. Well, one of the key things from my learnings through my career is while things will always get busier and busier, I don't have any more resources. So at that point, we need software to do what it does best by taking simple tasks such as reading invoices and putting the data in, and allows humans to go from being droids on a keyboard to doing what humans do best and making decisions.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. And what do you see the next 6 to 12 months looking like in terms of any sort of further deployment of Wiise or reporting expansion? What are your thoughts there?
We will change some of our reporting that we do on a monthly basis, and how we contextualize that to the board now that we have the flexibility with the reporting that we do and the expertise of your team to be able to change that reporting and how we contextualize it to others. So a lot of the next 6 months is improving and updating our reporting to make things not only easier for us, but as well easier for other people to understand.
Yeah.
That's the motivation for the next 6 months.
Okay. Fantastic. And finally, what new features or what would you like to see Wiise enable you to do that perhaps it might not yet?
Wiise is an enormously large software, and you don't know what you don't know. And one of the things I would like to see is not actually a software thing or even a new feature. I'd like Wiise and Momentum, or either to provide. We get provided onboarding training, which is great. What we don't get provided is training of what the system is capable of that we didn't know.
That you don't
know. We're shown what is relative to us, which is great. Otherwise you'll overload humans. But I don't know what the system's capable outside of what I do day to day. And to have intermediate or advanced training to look through the software holistically, regardless of what I do, but what is this capable of, would allow me to better utilize the system because I don't know what I don't know.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, great comment. Thank you, Trent. All right, thanks. Well, that's all the questions I had. Is there anything else you would like to mention to wrap up?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to make specific mention to Glenda and Laura. Without their two assistants and dedication throughout the project, we wouldn't be where we are today. They went above and beyond. And when I say above and beyond, I'm not just saying they were doing their job. I mean that they really stepped in. Laura, more than anyone, has been specifically the ability for us to succeed and meet all of our deadlines and so forth. So those two individuals, a pat on the back. We would not have been as successful as we were without them. There was changes of people that we were dealing with throughout the project. There was unknown problems that occurred and every single time those two stepped up to the plate, no one shied away or anything, and just dealt with the fact that there's a reality in front of them and let's get it sorted. And that to me is invaluable. So thank you to both of those people, everyone else as well, but those particular people were really invaluable to us.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, Trent.